Welcome back to the Loss Prevention News Network. I'm Joe LaRocca, and I'm here with special co-MC Jim Shepard at Protection One. Jim, you've been a frequent guest on the segments before. Thank you for sponsoring the event, and thank you for spending a few minutes with us on camera.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
So, Jim, off camera, we were talking about Protection One and the very diverse business objectives of the company. Tell us a little bit about what is it Protection One does, and what is your role within the organization?
Well, Protection One, prior to 2010, was a large conglomerate of mostly residential and commercial. In 2010, we were acquisitioned, and we launched a national account program. In those last 5 years, we've grown year over year about 300%. I think most of the retail landscape has probably seen our recent acquisition, which was ADT. So that's obviously the ink's still wet on that contract. But we're in the middle of folding in about 17,000 employees, somewhere to the tune of about 250 brick and mortar offices, which also adds a footprint in Canada, wow, which nice. We've lacked over the years, so supporting retailers that have crossed the Canadian border to do business in that general area. We're still split. The National Accounts Group offers security, alarms, cameras, network management, central station services. We have 5 central stations, and then of course we have the largest residential footprint in North America as well.
That's fantastic. So much growth and changes in the business. When you look back at 2016 and now ahead to 17 and 18, what's on the horizon for the company?
Well, for self-preservation reasons, we will probably continue the acquisition. We're looking at taking a larger step into the national fire industry. Doesn't seem to be a very large player in that market segment, so we're looking at that. We have put a lot of focus on internets. We have our own NOC nice. To monitor networks, and that's just for self-preservation reasons. We're starting to see all the technology shift to connecting to the network instead of analog phone lines, so we want to stay in the now with new technologies, and that's the shift that's going. Because the retail landscape seems to be reducing because of the Amazons and all the internet sales, we're pursuing also other verticals like banking, industrial, government, things like that.
Nice. Now, when we hear in the news about these mega mergers, so drugstore companies, home improvement centers, pet supply companies, those all obviously have an impact on not just the employees within those organizations, but also the service providers that support them. So the growth into these other areas, sounds like there's a lot of mobility for people that work in the company to maybe get involved in a different part of the business?
There is, but we have to wait and see who's in charge. So, anytime a retailer cannibalizes another one or acquisitions, we're not sure how that gets vetted out. They may run as sister companies for a while, but eventually someone's going to be in charge, and they decide on who they do business with for that very reason.
Nice. Now, within the organization, what's your role? What do you have responsibility for?
I'm a national account manager. I sell specifically to the vertical retail. I've been doing retail for about 24 years, so I'm dating myself right now.
You're a youngster compared to me.
I don't think so. You probably look better on camera than me. But it seems to be all I know right now is retail, but I do need to sharpen my resume a little bit and start looking at some of the other verticals for the fact that we're running out of brick and mortar business, it seems.
Right, big changes with the online, the e-commerce, and now all of the potential deliver at home options. Every retailer from convenience stores to the major mainline.
That's correct.
Businesses. So you brought up the word resumes. That immediately triggers for me. If you go back now and look at your career, maybe the careers of some people on your team or that you've worked with, what advice would you give to somebody that's maybe new to the business 10, 20 years ago, that they could maybe sharpen their skills today, knowing there's future opportunity down the road?
I would tell them to go into dentistry. It's completely recession proof. Everybody needs their teeth worked on.
That's nasty. I hate the dentist. That's horrible. Do you get slobber all over your finger? Oh, come on.
Yeah, support people to do that part. You just come in and tell them, pull that tooth.
That's true. That's a good point.
Call it a day. No, I would tell the folks to learn the business. Don't be just a suit and tie that walks in to sell a widget. A lot of the sales folks walk in and they bring a technical expert with them. The focus should be on you. Your retailers buy from who they know and who they trust. And if you don't know the product, you don't know their business and what their buy signals are, you're not going to offer solutions they're willing to cut a deal on. The other thing is never burn a bridge. I've been doing this a long time. It doesn't matter who you work with. These people, they start at the bottom, they work their ways up. So if you're the regionals and DLPMs, they become directors, they become VPs. And if you always took care of them when they were on the low part of the chain, they'll take care of you and then become the top
That's
guy.
right. That's right. That's something I certainly working with the National Retail Federation, I recall traveling around the country and going into investigator network meetings and other venues where you had DMs and regionals, etc. And people would question sometimes, why do you fly all over the country to meet all these people? I said, because someday they're going to be a director, a VP, running the company. Very exciting stuff. Jim, we're going to need to leave the conversation right there. Thank you for joining us. I know you'll be back for some other segments. And for all of you at home, you can follow me at Twitter at LaRoccaJ. Follow my cohort Amber Bradley at My Calibration. And we're turning it back over to Gus Downing with another retail interview right now.